Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Estancia Lapacho for another episode of our Farming Simulator 17 Platinum Edition farm. Our soybean is fully grown and ready to harvest, and we have a great demand for sugarcane. Yes, that's right. Once again, we sell a crop and immediately after we sell it, we get a great demand. We actually had two. So the sugar mill had a great demand price that was for 18 hours. It finished at 8 a.m. this morning, and it was going up and up and up. It's static for ages, and then it started to go up and up and up, and it got to around $308, $309 just before it ended at 8 o'clock in the morning. But about an hour before that ended, we got another great demand at the harbour, and that one is still climbing. That started at about 340 and is now up to 360 and is still going. And on top of that, you can see the transport company is going up for soybean as well. So we're set to make a very, very nice amount of money here in the next few hours. Now, our great demand on our sugarcane is a 24-hour great demand. So that should finish around 6, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Not entirely exactly sure which hour it was it started. I think it was 6, 7 a.m., somewhere around there. But with the price for this going up and up and up, we'll be selling this. We'll be closely monitoring our sugarcane price as well to make sure that that doesn't suddenly stop and start falling again, which is possible. Hopefully that won't be the case. But I will definitely be keeping a very, very close eye on both prices. Obviously, with our soybean coming into a great price just as it's ready to harvest, we've got 3 fields worth to sell this time, and we're going to get it at a higher price than we did last time as well. So we are set to make probably at least 150,000, maybe 200,000 if we're lucky, off these 3 fields. So let's get our harvester sort of lined up. And underway. Just missed that first little tuft. I'll clear that up in a second. We're going to need, obviously, to unload that. So let's get into our little mini Massey. Actually, no, we've used this an awful lot recently. Let's use our Starer. Let's leave this just here instead. We haven't used our Starer too much. So let's change the wheel options on it. Get rid of the skinny wheels. Put something a little bit beefier on there. There we go. Let's go get our 2 trailers. Our daily running costs are around about $3,000 at the moment. That's how much we're losing a day in interest payments and, well, got some interest payments, but yeah, that and expenses for equipment and so on and so forth. So not too bad. Yeah, it's certainly manageable at just $3,000 a day. We can afford that. Making our way up the hill. We're going to drive between our 2 fields because we need to attack from the opposite side when it comes to unloading. And once we get there and get parked up, we'll check the prices again, see if we can see what's happening with them. I'm tempted to just speed time up to 120 times to really lock those prices in, but I don't want to risk them starting to fall while we're still working away on the fields. So we are going to have a very minor negative balance for a brief period of time as our worker eats into our remaining capital. But by the end of this day, we should be flush with cash. So we're up to $1,900 already for the transport company, and it's still going up. That's fantastic. Cannot wait to see what that actually settles on. If we can get 2,000 or even above $2,000 per 1,000 litres, we are going to make a small fortune. And our sugarcane price looks like it's still potentially creeping back up as well. That's at 366 at the moment. Let's check in with it again in a moment. We need to position our train to make unloading and loading a lot quicker and easier. Do we have the lights on? No, we do now. It's just the shadow. I thought for a second we had lights on, but it's just the shadow and the way stuff is spawning in with our draw distance. So let's take this over to grain elevator 3. It's going to be the easiest one for us to load. It's also going to be the shortest distance as well when it comes to actually selling our soybean crop. And I do want to get into doing some wood chip stuff as well on this farm, so I am going to be looking at investing into poplar once we get our New Holland forage harvester as well. We'll look at getting a poplar field up somewhere, or a couple of different poplar fields. I don't think poplar suffers from crop wilting, but I might be wrong. I mean, we've got it turned off on this map anyway, so it's not going to be an issue, but that car... Oh, no, it's stopping for us. Thought he might have actually just nipped in front of us there, but he did actually stop. A lot less crop on the map at the moment. Everything seems to have just gone through its growth cycles. There is transport number 2. Or elevator number 2. We don't want that one. There's the soccer pitch just over there, the football pitch. And there is the harbour, which is currently in great demand for our sugarcane. This train actually feels a little bit slow, even though we're bombing along at 51 miles an hour. It does feel a little bit slower than that. I think it's just a perspective thing. If we were to change here, it suddenly looks so much faster. And there is our grain elevator just there. So let's start slowing down so we don't overshoot. Slam on the brakes, and I think I've misjudged that a little bit. Maybe. Oh, look at that. Judged that perfectly. Excellent. Combine's almost full. Hopefully he'll make it all the way back up again. Let's check our prices again. Yep. See, the sugarcane is still going up. We're up to 368. 1936 at the transport company, and 1937. This price is going to be fantastic. I don't know if I've ever seen, and I know we're playing on medium, but even on a medium, I don't think I've ever seen over 2,000 for soybean before. And it's going up quickly as well. Look how quickly it's still climbing. I mean, time is on 5 times at the moment, just to encourage these to keep growing while we're working away, but not too fast that, you know, they peak and then start falling again. Those prices are looking fantastic. I really hope we end up with a 2,000 plus price. That'll just be fantastic. So much money heading our way very, very soon. Let's get right alongside this guy nice and quickly. go. Make sure we're driving in a straight line and don't get in the way of the combine. Pull forward just a touch. There we go. We can actually see it in the rear mirror, look, in the side mirror. It's kind of cool. Look how much we're bouncing around, even at slow speed. That's the first 4,000 litres. I'm wondering if we need to invest in a larger transport trailer to really... Well, we're going to be selling by the train, so it doesn't really matter. And let's quickly get that little tuft that I missed. Every little counts, especially when we're going to have a price this good. Even if it is only 2 litres. $2 litres is still $40. Prices are still going up on both sell points. I just wish that we hadn't sold all our sugarcane right before we got not 1 but 2 great demands. I so often fall victim to that. You know, I need an injection of cash, I sell a crop, and within 24 hours of selling it, it's on demand. It's just, And of course, the game's already been saved by that point, so it's too late to kind of roll back and undo that, and you can't really do that on a Let's Play either. It's a little bit cheaty. Just to suddenly walk back in time doesn't really make for great viewing if you're just constantly undoing everything that you do. I can't get over how quickly that price is still going up at the transport company for our soybean there. This has come at absolutely the right time. So pleased that we've managed to get such a good price there. So how much money do we actually have right now? We have 190,000 available to us. So I want to see what we can actually kind of get away with in terms of some of the stuff going forward. How much is stuff going to cost us? We want a new double row planter. That's going to cost us $85,000. Needs 220 horsepower. We know that's 350. These together are going to cost us an absolute fortune, and we can only use these really for our sugarcane. We can't use them with regular grains, so we need to take that into consideration. If we get a larger tipper, well, we've got plenty of different mod ones available, as well as the sort of in-game stuff. You know, I do quite like the thought of using the Boss trailer. A whole load of different options available to us there, but that's not really all that pressing. I want to see how much is the Valtra. That's going to be the more pressing. That's the N series. That's too small, really. It's kind of comparable to our little Stara 180. We're not looking to replace our equipment. We're looking to upgrade to a larger power band. So I've gone past now. There we go. The T series. It's going to cost us. Is that all it's going to cost us? 170. We could buy that right now. What about an extra 190? Yeah, we could afford this right now. If we get it like that, we need to obviously have it with orange and orange. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get ourselves a T series. So let's just max the loan out. There we go. I would like a slightly more powerful engine, but we can upgrade that nearer the time. Plenty of different wheel options there. Weighted, narrows and rear twins on top of the standard tyres. So let's buy ourselves a Valtra. And there it is. Brand new addition to the farm. I do like these Valtras. Didn't really use them that much when the game first came out, but they are really actually surprisingly good little tractors to use. The N series in particular is a cracking little tractor. You know, for something that's sort of small, to have a power that goes up to 180 plus horsepower with the front loader option, as well as the front forks, the ability to change direction in terms of your seating position for, you know, ease of mowing and so on and so forth. It's a really good little tractor, and of course can have the narrows, so is ideal for for spraying and fertilizing if you're on a map with crop destruction. And quite pokey as well, these little Starers. You know, 32 miles an hour. Sorry, these little Valtras, 32 miles an hour as opposed to sort of 26 or even 19 if you take into account our little 105 over there. So I think we should start putting this guy to work straight away. What we're going to do is go in and turn off plant growth. There we go. Oh yeah, this just sits so much more comfortably with this tractor than the other one. We need a little bit more fertilizer. Which it doesn't seem to want to alter. Oh, that was it. That was a little bit more. We're out, so we're going to have to buy some more pallets. So that's something we can do while we're waiting for our combine to get ready, is we can buy some more bits and bobs. We're going to need some more seed pallets, but we need some more fertilizer bags. That's 4 of those. Let's go for 6 of those. We're okay, I think, on liquid. We can always get that later. Let's get some seed bags as well. Let's get 4 of those. There we go. Oh, there we go. There's the nearly full warning. So we'll empty the combine again. Then we'll go pick up our pallets, bring them back to the farm. We'll cultivate a section of this field, and then we'll immediately put our new Valtra to work, planting some sugarcane for us. Let's just check those prices again. Still going up, 1990 and climbing, and 372. The sugarcane seems to be slowing down. So we run along here to make sure that we get a nice empty tank. This should almost fill our first trailer. So 2 more tips, or 2 more unloads from the combine, and we'll be ready to run these over to the grain elevator, get it loaded onto the train, ready to sell. And we've still got a lot more harvesting to go before it's all ready. go. So we want our forklift to make it underneath there. It's a little bit iffy. There we go. Let's bring this over here. We want our Valtra, so we can connect that up to the Chieftain. Which means we're going to need to move the Massey. Everything's tripping over itself over here. Turn the engine off, don't want to do that. There we go. So, let's drop the ramps. Where did I leave the forklift? There it is. Take this with us. Fold up the ramps, and as long as we're careful and don't take these turns too fast or slam the accelerator or brake on too fast, we should be absolutely fine with our forklift on the back, and hopefully we'll have enough space to load all of our pallets up there as well. I think we should be fine, especially if we triple stack. I have to say, I'm kind of glad we haven't spent a load of money on the car yet as well. I mean, it'd be nice to have one, but we're very rarely ever going to use it. So right now, one of those is just kind of a giant kind of money pit. Unnecessary expenditure that we could quite comfortably put that money towards something else. Obviously, we have now completely depleted our sugarcane harvester fund, although we are about to replenish that substantially with our soybean and even our sugarcane. And it means we'll have to buy sugarcane back from the store at some point as well, but the price that we pay at the store is not going to be an issue compared to how much we're going to make from selling everything. So it's an expense that is worth paying. Okay, so into the forklift. Let's start dealing with our pallets. Just narrow the forks a little bit, don't want them too wide. Unfortunately, this ground is at a bit of an angle, which makes this a little bit trickier than it needed to be. We'll get that. And these pallets are going to be much, much easier to deal with than those big bags, which were just a massive pain in the arse to kind of deal with trying to get loaded. Someone suggested using a round baler, or round bale grabber, which is actually quite a clever suggestion. I mean, there are mods and tools out there that are designed to really kind of help with that, but the CSZ pack has got one, which is designed, like almost like a crane arm, to just strap them and pick them up off the ground that way. But they're just they're so big for how little stuff you get in them. They take up a lot of space. You can't stack them. With these pallets, they're going to take up a lot less space back at the farm. So where we could have 2 grab bags, we can have 6, maybe even 8, depending on how high you want to stack them, of these. When it comes to situations like that, the fact that these are cheaper and we get more seed in them, it's a complete no contest. Why is our Valtra wobbling so much like that? Slightly disconcerting. Let me try repositioning this. It might be because of the ramps. I think it was. There we go. Fold the ramps back up. Make everything a little bit more stable. Let's try approaching from this angle this time. See if this makes this a little bit easier. Yeah, much easier approaching them from behind like that. We've got 4 seed bags, haven't we? So these need to be stacked on top. There's a warning from the combine. There we go, that's perfectly stacked. Let's switch back to the farm. Get the next load of grain. I'm going to check those prices out again in a minute. There we go, front trailer is full. Moving on to the rear trailer. Excellent stuff. Right, let's get this parked up at the end of the field so he empties into it when he gets there. And let's check those prices again. See if they've finished fluctuating. 19.95. Ah, we got so close. We got so close. Sugarcane is still going up, I think. But I'm going to slow time down to real time now. Now that we've reached the peak on our sugarcane crop, on our soybean crop, the last thing I want is that to start falling away before we finish the harvesting. And with the harvester being a small harvester, it is going to take some time to do, so once I've loaded these up, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to pause the recording until the harvesting is almost finished. And then we'll get that big cash injection at the end of the episode. So I need to be really careful not to disturb the pallet behind on this, because it's not strapped in yet. Beautiful. Actually stacked it into the grooves, I think. Yeah, in the grooves, just slightly off-centered. But that's good enough for me. Let's get those completely locked in. Onto the fertilizer pallets. And we have 6 of these. I'm actually going to bring the trailer over a little bit nearer, I think. Try and make it a little bit quicker. There we go. Let's just push that back carefully. Yeah, that's pretty good. We're going to use quite a lot of these, I think, just in planting our sugar cane. That lined up nicely. There we go. Drop it down. Push it on. Slide off. Excellent. Just take that strap off. There we go. Still keep moving these forks in the wrong direction. Still keep trying to use them like a front loader. And they don't work that way. Can't help it, it's just a force of habit. That's looking good. It's looking like it's in those grooves. Another warning from the combine. That thing really does fill up pretty quickly. Maybe we do need to upgrade our combine. I think, well, we're going to have to upgrade our combine going forward. I think it's just too small a tank. So we'll keep with the kind of theme of equipment that we would see in this area. So we'll go for either a Massey combine or a New Holland combine. I might go New Holland, seeing as we're going to have a New Holland forage. It depends. I'll either go with the smaller of the 2 Masseys. I could even go with the modded Massey combine from Black Sheep Modding. That's another possibility to us. Let's turn around quick. At least we caught him before he got to the end. That's good. And we need to go and empty this now at the grain silo, or the grain elevator. Combine, get out of the way. There we go. We could potentially wait for another unload, but seeing as we have a 17,000 litre capacity across these two trailers, we're only going to get, well, less than 2,500. That's 2/3 of a tank of the combine. I'd rather just let it fill up and then empty, and then fill up and empty. I don't mind if we run with a slightly empty, or a slightly under capacity trailer to go and make the unload. So yeah, we're going to have basically a lot of just driving up and down the field and driving back and forth to the elevator to come. So to spare you all of that, I'm going to carry on working away. I'm going to kind of pause the recording now, and then I'll come back as the harvest is almost done. And we'll then take everything we've got up to the transport company. We'll sell it, see how much we do actually get. It should be an awful lot. And see where we go from there. So I will catch you guys again in just a moment. Alright, so we have almost finished harvesting our soybean crop. Field 14 has just got a few passes left. So while the combine finishes those off, we are going to go and take our sugarcane down to the harbour. So we have a price of $3.72. It hasn't changed in the last hour or so. That price is pretty much locked now at $3.72. There is a risk that if we leave it any longer, it could start to go down. So we'll go and dump at that price. It's actually more than double the price of actually buying in sugarcane right now. To buy a crate is $340, and that contains 2,000 litres. We're getting $372 dollars per 1,000 litres. So we're getting more than twice the purchase price of the sugarcane right now. So it makes perfect sense to sell everything that we have, and then if we need to buy some back in the future for our planting, well, we will need to buy some back. It'll be... we'll be saving money effectively. We could end up with exactly the same quantity, of around 50-something thousand litres, and also have made, a substantial amount of money as well. So we'll go hit the harbour in our new Valtra, and then once that's done, our soybean harvest will be finished. We'll be able to take that up and see how much we can get for that. I actually have honestly have no idea how much we actually have. Obviously, we've got a really, really good price of $1,995 per 1,000 litres, but I have no idea how much we've actually harvested. I've just been emptying it into the grain elevator, and I haven't been keeping track. So the first indication of just how much money we're going to make off our soybean crop will be when we load the train up, which will be once the harvest is completed, which is almost done, as you can see. Working on that last few passes there on field 14. So last time out we did just the 2 fields, and I think possibly we had a little bit extra. I'm trying to remember if we had, I think, an extra 8,000 litres or so maybe in storage. We earned 115,000. I'm expecting to earn at least 150,000. I'm expecting to earn probably around 200,000 this time out. So let's tip our sugarcane. See how much we get for all of this. There's the first container. That was around 7,400. Let's get the second one tipped. There we go, 7442. So we're going to have a partial trailer left in storage. I think we might leave that there. So we've at least got something to fill up our next planter with. We sold 40,000 litres, that's pretty good. We'll keep the remaining 12,000 or so. So we'll now just concentrate purely on our soybean. We can always go back and, you know, sell again once we've done the train, if we choose to. And so that great demand is going to last for a while longer yet. It's almost a shame, as I say, that, you know, it came when it did, and that we didn't have a larger supply to actually harvest or to sell. Once again, you know, just unlucky timing has affected us, where we sold just a fraction too early. And just see, there's a thin yellow strip showing on the edge of the field there. There's our truck and trailer. There's our combine just fading into view. Does look like we have just one pass remaining. Yeah, there we go. It's just, that's it. That's all that's left, that thin strip. So I'll get these parked up. I've kind of tied it up a little bit with the pallets. They've been put away into the storage shed. I'm probably going to go and get some more as well in a little while. But there you can see we've got 6 pallets of solid fertilizer stacked up. I'm probably going to get another couple stacked up there, and then another 4 pallets of seed as well. We've got this little partial pallet here left over, but that'll disappear pretty quickly. So now comes the moment of truth. Once we take this up to the grain elevator, it'll be a straight load onto the train to see just how much we have in store. Just need to extend the pipe. As I say, this is going to go a big way towards recouping some of that money that we've spent recently. But I'm going to be buying a double billet planter, first of all, a double row billet planter, and then the rest will go into our account. So let's track along the bottom. Actually, it'd be quicker to take the road. We can cut through the back of our animal dealership, come up straight onto the grain elevator that way, rather than going through the field network. And I would like to start looking at getting cows up and running on the farm soon as well. But getting our sugarcane situation sorted is far more pressing. So we won't do cows until we've got the sugarcane up and running properly with the case harvester. There we go. That's the grain going in. Let's turn the engine off. Let's jump into the train. And how much do we have? 54,500 litres. That's not bad. I thought we'd have a little bit more than that, but in that case, we're probably looking at somewhere in the region of, oh, let's see, about 115,000 again, I would imagine. If we say we've got 55,000 litres just to round up, then we're looking at about 110,000. So slightly less than I was hoping for, but it's still, you know, a great price. It's certainly going to be enough to buy our planter and have a little bit of spare change at the end of that as well. Let's make our way up the hill. See some of those fields look pretty spectacular with some crops on. Start easing the speed down. There we go. And $108,904. That's not too shabby. So let's get our planter. That's 85,000. We will obviously be selling this in the future and probably purchasing another one of those, but for now we're just going to buy this. That leaves us with 40,000 on hand. I want to pay off some of this debt, but I want to keep a little bit of cash on hand to buy some more supplies. So I'm going to need another 4 pallets of seeds and another 2 pallets of that. And we'll get a couple more liquid fertilizer tanks. Oh, well, 1 more liquid fertilizer tank. And there we go, that's it. We're out of cash again. So it didn't last very long. Let's go collect the planter before we do anything else. Let's take a proper look at this thing. We've got plenty of fields that we can do some contract work on to get our cash back up. So we'll definitely be able to afford the case harvester before it becomes too much of an issue. But yeah, we'll be cultivating our fields and then we'll be planting sugarcane next time out, and then we'll probably start looking at a different crop perhaps for our field 14. Something other than soybean. We have kind of hammered the soybean a little bit quite recently, a couple of $100,000 worth of sales. So maybe it is time to kind of freshen up our crops a little bit, try something a little bit different. I don't really want to go back to wheat or barley, so I'm guessing maybe canola, or maybe we could go ahead and we did a different seeder, so yeah, looks like it's going to be canola or back to a crop that we've already done, because we don't have another seeder to plant the other seed types, let alone the header to then harvest them as well. But there we go, there's our double billet planter. we have a tractor that is now powerful enough to actually haul this as well. Does look pretty meaty, pretty impressive. There's 2 separate bays there for our sugarcane. Now it looks like our fertiliser tank is on the top this time, rather than on the sides like last time with the single billet planter. So let's see if we can actually load this directly from the silo. That would be kind of useful. Looks as though we can. Yes, fantastic. We can actually load directly from the silo. Excellent, there we go. And that's it. That's all. That's all of our sugarcane that we had left in stock, because we used the rest. So let's grab a pallet of fertiliser. The forks are a little bit high, but that's okay. And let's fill up the fertiliser tank. Oops, a little bit too close there. Pushing the forks forward by mistake. Doesn't seem to want to go in. Maybe. Do we need to open the cover? There is no cover to open. Maybe we're just not getting the position right. Maybe it's these side tanks. Oh well, let's just do it the old-fashioned way. Now, why is that pouring that onto the ground? That's very weird. Okay, yeah, a little odd, but there we go. We have our brand new double billet planter ready to go. We just need to cultivate the fields first, so we'll get that started in the next episode. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and we'll be back with some more Estancia Lapacho and Farming Simulator 17 Platinum Edition action very soon.